Hello everyone! In this video, I will walk you through some of the latest features added to MAKIRA Approve S4 in our recent release. Here is a quick preview of what is new. The new communication framework is introduced in this release. This is a new feature helping you to simplify the communication with partners and colleagues by generating well-structured emails and messages with detailed content. The framework is highly customizable, enabling you to configure senders, recipients, and message content based on predefined scenarios. This is making it such a valuable tool for improving collaboration, productivity, and most importantly, time optimization. For this demo, we will be using SAP S4 HANA system. And let's start the demo now. I will be using Invoice Overview, and in my Active Work Items view, I can easily see how many work items I currently have. There are many filters available that you can customize according to your preferences and needs. Here is an invoice and I can execute it. The attached PDF is shown on the right side of the screen, and if we look at it, we can see the invoice has a reference to a purchase order. I will now try to assign it, but I get an error that the purchase order is not yet released. While I'm still here in the document, I can go to the Communication Framework tab, where I can immediately start a new communication. The first step is to select a scenario, and in this case, I will choose a message channel for a line of business inquiry. I can also select the language here. This is the user who will receive our message. In this case, it is the requester. Additionally, a template is available with the invoice details, so I don't need to manually enter them, saving me even more time. I will quickly add a brief message here. All the usual text editor options like font, size, color, and others are available. Even a screenshot can be added. I can set the priority and indicate the expected response time, for example, 2 days. Once I'm ready, I click Send, and that's it. You can initiate as many communications as needed for a single document, and all of them will be listed under the Communication tab. For example, the one we have just started is right here, marked as awaiting reply. Now the requester receives the message in their inbox. To show how it looks, I will switch roles to the requester Sharon Shopper. She reads the message and takes action, in this case ensuring that the purchase order is released. Once that's done, she replies to the message by clicking the reply button. The reply is now sent back to the accounts payable agent. He receives a notification, and when he opens it, he can see the response. He has the options to accept the reply or ask clarifying questions. Now he knows the issue has been resolved, so he accepts the reply and navigates back to the document. In the Communication tab, he can see all the messages related to this document, and once the reply is accepted, the status turns green. Now he is able to match the purchase order and then save the invoice as completed. Now let me show you a different scenario. Again, I'm playing the role of an accounts payable agent. This time, I have received an invoice, but I notice that the purchase order is missing. Since I know that a purchase order is always required for this supplier, I need to contact them to request the missing information. I will just do a quick check of the PDF, and as you can see, the purchase order is indeed missing. I'll take a screenshot for reference. Now I will go back and start a new communication directly from Invoice Overview using the button. In this case, I will select the email scenario, no purchase order number. The key difference here is that the communication is sent from one email to another, and these email addresses are predefined in SAP. The recipient can vary depending on the scenario, but I will show you how to manage these settings after the demonstration. Now I don't need to change anything. I will simply attach the screenshot for reference. All the details are here, and the PDF is also attached. I will just send the message. Once again, you can view all communications in the history. Now you will notice the invoice status has changed to waiting, and the communication task status is set to communication in progress. Finally, let me quickly show you how the email looks on the recipient's end. Here is the email they receive. The attachment is included, and the screenshot is also visible along with the message text we just sent. Now let's move on to another scenario. This time we have an invoice with a price variance that has been rejected by the cost owner. As the accounts payable agent, I can check my inbox and find the rejected document there. Next, I will navigate to the invoice overview, where I can quickly see the last user comment indicating that the price is too high and that we should request a credit memo. Without delay, I can initiate a communication directly from here. For this case, I will select the email scenario, vendor return wrong price. The predefined template is already correct, so I don't need to make any changes. I will simply send it. Now, if I refresh, you will notice the document status updates to waiting, and the item disappears from my inbox, indicating that the communication process has been initiated. Later on, I have two options. If I have received a reply, I can confirm this with the Reply Received button. In case I have not, my other option is to use the Continue Waiting button, which will add additional time to wait. In case I don't click any of those buttons and the deadline has passed, then the task will automatically complete and the main workflow of the work item will get back to its previous state. Let's now show one more scenario. I am an accounts payable agent again, reviewing a new invoice. I open it and try to edit, but I encounter an error stating that the cost center is blocked. Once again, I can do everything right here without leaving the screen. This time, I select a message scenario, MDS inquiry, and send a message to Peter Plant from the master data team. I add a message for him that I need the cost center to be unlocked, and I send it. Now I just have to wait for a little bit. We can see that the status is waiting and there is a communication in progress. Switching rows to Peter Plant from Master Data Team, I see the message in his inbox. He replies, confirming that the cost center is now unlocked and sends the response. Switching back to the accounts payable row, I receive a notification that Peter has responded. I review his reply, and then he has the options to accept the reply or ask clarifying questions. Now he knows the issue has been resolved, so he accepts the reply and navigates back to the document. I try editing it again and simulate. This time there is no error, so I can save it as completed. All scenarios and messages are fully customizable, so let me quickly show you some of the possibilities. Here is a list of the available communication scenarios, the communication channels, and you can add as many as you wish, which are applicable for your processes. For the email scenarios, you can add the email of the recipient. This can be a fixed email address if it is the same every time, or it can be pulled from the vendor master data. If a specific address from a list of maintained addresses is needed, you can use the vendor email address notes field. We can also have a look at how is the email template maintained. Here you can add different languages. Here is the template in HTML and in plain text. If we click on Preview, you can see it the way it will look in the communication framework. As you can see, the options are extensive, and this new feature will make communication tremendously easier and faster to handle. Now, let's quickly look at some other exciting features I have prepared for you. The new split screen in the Approval app is a highly requested feature. When you open an attachment, you can view it as usual. However, if you enable the split screen option, the attachment appears on the right side of the screen, allowing you to view it alongside the work item information. This makes it easy to reference the attachment at a glance. You can make it bigger or smaller as you need. This setting remains active for all work items until you disable it. Another great feature is the new option to search for a requester by ID, first name, or last name. This is available in Supplier Invoice Plus and MIR4. When editing an invoice, you can start typing in the requester field and a search is performed. Results will display matches by ID, first name, or last name, making it much easier to find the right person. Thank you for watching this quick feature overview. There are plenty of other exciting updates in the current release, so feel free to reach out if you need support with upgrading or configuring these new features. Don't forget, you can always find detailed release notes and functional guides on Product Portal. Stay tuned for more enhancements in the next major release of MAKIRA Approve S4, coming in the second quarter of 2025.